How's it going, everyone, and welcome to a laid-back edition of No Excuses on PGWProductions.com with your favorite show hosts, and YouTube.com with your favorite show hosts, are still
Fenurian.
And Volosel, and we're here to bring you the latest news and commentary on the video games industry for the week, or more or less just Derp playing again.
Yeah.
Because they're making me re-roll again.
Well, this time we've got Ari, and throwing a level 1 character straight at the Gorgon sisters is going to result in a rather pinkish
It's
taste.
perfectly reasonable, and he will just need to pick up his game.
Get good scrub.
If I understood any of the game specific mechanics in this one, we might be able to do it. But I have played this game. I have played this game like once in the last 10 years to the end of Greece, and before that I played several times and still never beaten the first level.
It's a RPG classic. There is a bad guy. Click on bad guy. If it falls over, you win. If not, click on bad guy again.
Yeah, so I'm going to be taking this one incredibly simple.
Yeah.
So I basically don't have to think about anything. So I'm just going to be following Fern everywhere. I assume he shows up on the map.
I do.
Yeah, he's up there.
I'm in the town square for the first town. You two there's one. There's Vol, I think. No, that's Ari.
No, that's me.
I don't.
Yeah.
You and your pointed stick.
Yeah.
So,
all right. So Fern's going to be marching while he talks about his week, and we're just going to follow him. And if something goes wrong, it's Fern's fault.
Right. That's reassuring.
Sounds good to me.
Multitasking ho. So
Yeah.
this is going to be a very laid back show. It's the last show of the year. We're just going to take it easy and play a bit to Titan Quest. One of these days, we will eventually finish this game.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that by the end of the show, I'm still going to be using a dagger and have no, because these guys are taking everything. I don't think I've actually managed to hit anything. I'm pretty sure I'm whiffing all my attacks.
Yeah, I don't think I'm actually hitting with my spear. Oh no, that did damage to the crow. Okay, they just don't have very visible hit. They are hit animations.
No.
So yeah, this show is all video. There's a boar over here.
I've had another pig too, but Piggy's probably going to kill me.
Yeah.
Run away!
You have since you have mentioned that there is a limited number of dudes in this game.
I did.
I am now going to be obsessively killing.
Did you just get killed by a pig?
Yes.
Is that what we're looking at here? You were killed by a pig.
I got
Fern,
killed by
how
a
did you
level
die
1
to the
pig.
pig? How did you die to the pig?
I made the pig angry.
I tanked a pig. I haven't put any points in anything.
I'm also wearing nothing but a linen bedsheet.
I guess I do have the one piece of trash that auto-equipped to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know anything about this game, really. I've still never beaten the first level, so...
Yeah. Running through the wheat fields holding a torch like that's probably not...
Not a good idea, no.
So, yeah. Oh, there's a chest.
Healing potions!
Guys with bows. So, yeah, keeping on track, hopefully, maybe.
What was your week like, Fern?
It was weeky. It was the usual pre-Christmas shenanigans of tearing around like a mad thing and cleaning up the various nests of border collie hair that build up throughout the year. But I should probably point out this is of course our last show of the year. We'll be taking a 2-week hiatus after this.
Yep.
Don't forget that bit.
Yep, there is a good chance I will be embroiled in family shenanigans. So...
Yeah. Good old Christmas.
Yeah, Fern will probably wind up doing family shenanigans too. I think Vol's on his own this year, though.
Yeah, I'm more or less asleep.
Ooh, a level. Excellent. So what did I actually do this week? Not a whole lot. Again, it was all pre-Christmas getting ready and, you know, not going completely insane in 45+ degree heat. Ugh. It is really not pleasant when you can potentially walk down the street and just melt. Really not fun.
Well, you live in Australia.
Yes, in the desert.
That's what Australia is.
Heat and spiders. And bin chickens.
Bin chickens.
Bin chickens.
I like that video. I was very entertained.
There's also someone's written a song about the bin chicken. It is not appropriate for audiences.
Oh, so you're not going to play it in the music break then?
No, no, that would not be good. It uses some rather colloquial language, let's just say. Where'd you go, Ari? We have a boss to whop on here.
Oh, I'm putting skill points in. I was reading what they did.
Oh. Alright. In terms of gaming, poked around a little bit more at Smash Brothers. Unlocked a few more characters there. I still haven't finished the story mode there. And actually managed to play some online multiplayer with people who had, I wouldn't say the best connections, but better connections than the intercontinental one that we were trying to force it through.
Yeah, that
did not go well in the slightest.
Yeah, no, that was a mess.
Yeah,
to say the least.
So when the game actually works properly and you're playing with friends, it is still a lot of fun, as you might expect. Playing with people you don't know online can be educational, I guess, is probably a good word for it. People are bad. People are very bad.
People are what I found online is right now, because the game's so early in release and so many people play Smash, you get a truckload of people that don't know what a video game is, and they will just do the absolute dumbest things of all time and just get themselves killed. And then you get the people that actually have a clue what they're doing and know way better than you do, because you probably play this game pretty casually, and they will just body you.
They will demolish your face.
But I like my face. I want it to stay attached.
Too bad.
And undemolished.
You get no face.
No face.
No face. I shall be the Doggomancer in this game, I think. I'm going to play a summoner this time around.
Yep. The Doggomancer.
The Doggomancer. I will cast and summon lots and many dogs. Or I would if I could actually assign that to a hotkey.
I'm just going to chuck everything into mastery so I don't have to make decisions. I'll continue hitting everything with my knife.
Yeah.
There we go. Doggo. Suddenly, Doggo.
Oh, and you get stat points as well, don't you?
You do.
Yeah, I just put them all in strength.
Yeah, when in doubt, you can just throw your stat points into your skill points into mastery.
Pick a primary stat, pick mastery, just dump everything in there, and we can all just hit things with copper knives for the rest of the game.
Sounds fun.
Yep.
I think there's another guy.
I'm following.
Yeah, there he is. Get Piggy.
I'm following the fern.
So
yeah. So yeah, this is a professional show is not the word I would use for it.
No, well, we're not professional at the best of times.
That's true.
Yeah, we're just going to derp around on Titan Quest for most of the show.
But yeah.
Yeah, Smash Brothers Online with complete strangers. Sometimes you run into someone who'll completely body you, and that's honestly not very fun. But then you run into the people who, I guess, have never played the game before, or they don't know what they're doing, and they will just, something like, they'll just spam the same move over and over and over. Like
because Smash Bros. Yeah.
Yeah. I ran into
Smash
a
Bros.
That
has
did nothing but his airdrop.
Yeah, there's because Smash Bros. Has such universal appeal to everybody that plays Nintendo games, you get people that like don't even really play video games, just in droves picking up that game at launch.
Yeah.
So the people that you run into are just not even video game.
No.
How does video game?
The first couple of times it is kind of fun to body people with my rather rudimentary Smash skills, but that gets old really quick.
Yeah. If your opponents are all, how do I shot web? That can't remain satisfying for very long.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't. It gets quite boring quite quickly.
How does I shot web? Alright. What else did I play? My brother actually convinced me to play a little bit of Space Engineers again, which I haven't touched in a year. That game. It's all about building your giant spaceship out of the absolute smallest possible components you can imagine. But they've improved that game a lot since I last played it. Like, everything kind of works a bit better. Airtight sealing on your ship actually works like it should now. But the physics engine is still completely and utterly bonkers. You can build yourself a little buggy, little rover, and you can drive around perfectly happily until you try to turn a corner at any sort of speed. In which case your car will just flip over and self-destruct. That's not fun, especially after you spend an hour building the thing.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe you should make something a little bit less explosive.
Yeah, like that's one of the more examples where you can kind of attribute that to bad driving. But then other times you could just hit a small hill and gouge the underside out of a vehicle, or load up a air vehicle with too much weight and not pay too much attention to it, where it will kind of get 3 feet off the ground, flip over, and explode. It could be a fun game.
We left you one of the yellow drops like way back there, Vol. I don't know if you noticed.
I didn't see any.
Oh, me and Fern each grabbed one, and we left a protective bangle or something back way back where we were before. I just now remembered it.
Oh, I didn't see anything.
I'm going to shoot things with my stick. Pew, pew.
I think I grabbed an axe.
Yeah. Really, that's kind of it for my week. Oh, right. So, did poke away at some more anime and caught up with Black Clover. That latest episode where Asta is fighting...
I watched it on a VR headset.
Good grief, why?
Right in front of my face.
How are you not having a horrible seizure at this point?
I still feel tired.
Yeah.
Like, from just watching it.
So, it goes... The big thing for this episode is there's a massive stylistic shift. It goes from, standard shonen anime to Acid Trip.
Yeah. We've crossed the classic shonen bridge here. He's got a special power now.
He does have a special power.
Which they take embarrassing pains to try and explain how it's not actually a special power when it's blatant.
It totally is. He goes Devil Trigger, I guess.
He pulls his Devil Trigger.
Bang, bang, bang.
Bang, bang, bang.
All these thoughts running through his head.
He's certainly loud enough, and he does spend some sort of time in his, Persona-verse, I guess. But,
blinding his sight in a curtain of red.
I have to confirm it. Yes, there was plenty of red. I have to confirm it, but I could swear it was done by the guy who did, well, pretty much the entirety of Mob Psycho 100. It has that same sort of acid trip, complete over-the-top animation that you had, particularly during the opening sequence of that anime.
Well, it's a style, and I wonder if it's actually taught somewhere, because it's been appearing in a lot of stuff over the past few years. Like some of the latter sequences, Fate Apocrypha are done like that as well.
Okay.
Yeah, the Karna versus Siegfried fight near the end is particularly ridiculous with it.
But I think it might be like how every Western cartoon is exactly the same. Everybody has sausage mouth.
That horrible
like that.
Cal Art style.
Yeah, it might be the anime equivalent. And hey, their mouths don't look like sausages, so I'll call it a win.
It's definitely an improvement, but if you're not prepared for it going in, oh goodness, does it hurt. No, everything is moving so fast and disturbingly fluidly, and characters go on and off model all over the place, and it's just complete sensory overload. I think there was a fight in there. I don't know.
Yeah, I actually didn't like the episode very much for a lot of reasons, but the central one was actually that I didn't feel like it made sense in that the villain dude, what was it, Ladros?
Yeah.
They don't really establish his bona fides to be a villain in a sense, because everybody else has had to go through various contortions, like constantly announcing their attacks because they're casting spells, and that's how you cast a spell.
Yes.
You've got to invoke it in some way. Ladros never does.
No.
As soon as he stops shouting, "Million lasers!" he's no longer bothering to... He's no longer bothering to invoke any kind of spell. He just does everything automatic. And I know that they can excuse that by saying, "Oh, well, it's just that he's got spirit magic now, stuff and reason." But having access to spirit magic never really stopped anybody else having to incant anything.
No.
So the whole thing basically is like they were trying to do an homage to a classic shonen fight like a Dragon Ball Z one, rather than because it actually made any sense.
Yeah. So you got one-winged angel Asta, not even kidding, he does actually have one wing, versus psychotic loopy-doopy guy.
To be fair, that one wing does sort of look like a creepy parasite of some kind.
It does, doesn't it? So a rather... it's a weird smudge, I guess, on an otherwise perfectly adequate shonen.
I like the show, relatively speaking. I like it, and I think it's quite good as far as it goes.
Mm-hmm. Like it's not one of the worst ones. It's one of the better ones. I think that adequate successor to the others in the genre, like Toes and not. Yeah, like at its height, the heights of shonen's popularity, it could easily have been up with the big three.
Yeah, I think it probably would have, but I don't know. Maybe I'm interested to see what sort of traction it gets, because it's sort of dated is the wrong word, but it's well-worn territory.
Yeah,
it's not bringing anything original to the table. Like the all of the shtick that we've seen so far has been very paint by numbers. Like this is exactly what every other shonen show does, in the exact way that every other shonen show does it.
Yes,
and there's pretty much no exceptions there. Everything is exactly as one expects.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything new, but what it does do, it does well. You know, once it stops taping Naruto.
But I never thought we would see a shonen protagonist that was like legit just louder than Naruto.
Yeah.
At least Asta's never claimed to be a ninja.
No, he's never really claimed to be much more than he actually is. And to be fair, even in universe, people find his loudness annoying.
Yeah, that's also true.
It is a legitimate barrier to entry starting the show.
Yeah, so it takes a while. You kind of warm on Asta's loudness, and he does kind of tone it down a little bit later. Not much, a little bit.
The thing that I liked most about the episode was probably that they didn't try and give him a temptation scene. Like they didn't just go straight full Naruto and have the demon thingy is in control and he's going to try and strike down this defeated enemy who can't defend himself now. They didn't actually have him go through that contortion. It's like, no, he's actually already in control because he's such a bonehead that he can't be tempted.
Yeah. He's a complete and utter meathead, and trying to use psychology or anything like that on him just doesn't work.
Yeah, I actually I like heroes that are genuinely heroic, don't have to always overthink everything, because doing the right thing is what's natural to them, and that's how you know that they're a hero.
Yeah, but...
Because I don't really like them being brought down to normal all the time, because it's gotten really tiring on it. Yeah. Because you don't actually become a hero if you're super vulnerable to every temptation that comes along.
Yeah. Though there is something to be said for a hero that is, physically incapable of thinking any other way. Largely because of their own stupidity.
Well, I think that you could find an in on Asta somewhere, but I don't think that it doesn't make sense for him to be in the normal places, because he was basically raised to be a good person and he was naturally inclined to be a good.
Yes.
There's a helmet over there. I think both of y'all still need helmets.
I should probably put a bucket on my head.
You say helmet, more sort of an ugly leather hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This looks ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I want to take this hat off.
It could be worse.
I'm ashamed.
Some of the helmets you get later with the ridiculous giant plumes and things on them.
ARPGfashion.jpg. My goodness.
Yeah. You got the spiritual successor for this game, which is Grim Dawn, and you get hats, which, well, basically everything actually in that game looks like it's stepped right out of a Van Helsing movie.
I still don't know if I'm actually doing any damage to anything.
Have you seen yourself in that clown suit?
What else? What else? Kept watching the Slimy Time anime, and it still continues to be good. That's really all there is to say about it.
I sort of like the guileless villain of Gabiru.
I'm not sure if he's a villain. It's kind of hard to place him.
He's functionally a villain.
Yeah.
He's functionally a villain because he's a problem for the protagonist. But he's totally guileless.
He is a complete idiot fop.
He legitimately does not mean any harm in any way, and he's causing grave harm.
Yeah.
Simply because he's impressionable.
It's fun to watch him for a while until kind of the end of the latest episode when you realise exactly what he's done.
Yeah.
And you just kind of sit there and think, oh no.
What, you mean you're not chanting Gabiru? Gabiru?
No, I am not his army of sycophants. Good grief. So, you've got the big bad of the universe, I guess, of this story arc anyway, approaching, and Gabiru kind of, sort of, makes everything 10 times worse.
They pay him for.
Yeah, they do. So if you haven't watched Slimy Time, go watch it. It is continuing to be good. I'm actually doing another watch through of it just because.
Yeah, it is a very, very watchable. Doesn't ask too much of the viewer, and you get a lot of entertainment out of it. Sometimes you get unexpected feels.
Yes, and other times you just get complete silliness.
Yeah, was real surprised it pulled me out of my anime doldrum I'm in. I was just like, I'll check it out. Oh, I watched all the episodes that are out.
Yeah.
I like how they've managed to introduce sort of genuinely amusing sub-heroes like Gobta.
I do like Gobta. He has such a hard time.
He's a little douchebag in a lot of ways, but he means well, and he's actually seeing, reward for his efforts at being, the world's punching bag.
Yeah. You tend not to see too much of the other direwolves, though, which is a bit sad. You see plenty of Ranga, though.
Oh, that's just because you're a dog.
I know. I've always got a soft spot for the doggo.
None of the direwolves have anything distinct about them except for the leader.
Yeah, just Ranga. What else? I think that's pretty much all I did for this week. It's the pre-Christmas craziness. Oh, hey, I forgot there were skeletons over here. Pew, pew.
I am trying dual wielding and whacking things. I don't know if this is working. Am I doing more damage? Who knows?
Initially, with dual wield in this game, I think you take a DPS hit, or at least the DPS counter in the order.
Or you're a DPS who doesn't hit.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Push the push button.
Yeah, don't die. No, I'm gonna die.
Push the push button. Why are there things with disease on them?
I made things worse.
Why did you do this, Fern?
Why are they all over me?
Because Fern's dead, I think.
Yeah, I did. That's okay. The respawn point's just right there.
I brought friends.
I'm trying to punch the skeleton.
Don't punch a skeleton.
It's Birdo. Kill it.
What even is Birdo?
I don't
think anyone knows. So what have you got for this week, Paul?
Not much. It was a brutal week at work because the last week, and they kept saying, "Oh, it's going to be an easy week this week. It's going to be an easy week this week. There's not going to be much." No, it was the worst week in recent months by miles.
Yeah.
Largely, I think that they're basing the assumptions off of when the business had mostly dairy company work, which is number one. That's not true anymore. Number two, the dairy company pattern of operation is not shared non-dairy company, so they don't have the shutdowns that they were expecting, and so that meant a lot of work for me, and I was honestly just too tired to do anything usually when I got home.
Yeah.
My only notable event for the week was doing 9-10 pulls and getting literally nothing. Yeah.
Your legendary gacha luck.
Like that puts me at about 120 pulls without getting anything worth a damn, which is pretty spectacular on a statistical level.
Yeah. It should not be possible.
Yeah, the chance of you actually getting something worth a damn is sort of, it's around 4 or 5%. So to completely strike out so thoroughly the way I have is pretty strange.
Yeah. Who wants to use a bow?
Bow.
Do I have to get arrows for it?
No.
Do I have to put points into dexterity because I've just been spamming it into intellect out of habit?
Yeah,
maybe strength will do it.
Strength, yeah, you get a little bit of a return out of bows, but you get a lot more out of dexterity.
Can't use it till level 7 anyway. I'll hang on to it for us.
Alright.
I'll carry it around. Oh, that's a lot of dudes.
That is a lot of dudes.
That's a lot of my health bar gone. In one hit. That's a lot of my health bar gone. Push the 9 button.
Yeah, this part of the game, a lot of your defensive move just involves mashing your health potion button.
It involves tanking things with your face.
Or running around in circles.
Yeah, that's the strat right now. I'm glad I bought like 20 health pots back in town. I spent all my gold on them. just out of habit in these style of games. Just buy all of the health potions until you have a full stack.
I've got some stat points I probably should spend, actually. Let's see.
Well, we'll put mine in health, but I can't.
You could, if you wanted.
Well, I know, but I can't right now because I don't have any. I think I spent them on strength.
I put all mine into intelligence, so now I guess I have to take something that uses it. My energy pool has been sitting on absolutely full the entire time because I don't have any spells.
Yeah, I don't even know where our spell book is.
S.
Click the book.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, S is the default hotkey, but you've rearranged everything.
No, I haven't, but not yet. But yeah, so yeah, I can't click and drag anything onto a hotkey, so I assume I can't use any buttons yet. Everything I took must have been a passive.
You right click on the empty slot.
Oh.
Yeah, and if you've got a base attack replacer, you have to put that in your slot first, as well.
Oh.
Yes.
All right, so I would have been happy with getting something, and I would have just stopped rolling. But it started to get to the point where I was like, just morbidly fascinated. Like, how long can I keep drawing this out? How many more times can I pull and just get nothing? Because at some point, it's just like you don't even care anymore because your luck's clearly so bad that there would be no point for saving.
Yeah.
Like, if you aren't going to roll it now, you ain't going to roll it later. So,
especially when you get such a massively game-breaking servant like Merlin.
Yeah, so this is all about the Merlin banner, and I don't really care about Merlin, but a lot of my favourite servants do use Buster, so I figured, why not enable them? But since I'm not Aristeal, who can get everything he wants easily, I just end up pile of quartz.
Yep, fat goes boss.
I'll probably throw the rest of my quartz at him over the next few days, along with whatever tickets like we get for killing the demon pillars in the current raid events. Yeah, I'm sort of not really interested in saving for anything anymore because I've been so demoralized by this run of bad luck.
Yeah,
because apparently runs of bad luck aren't limited. most people will have like 1 or 2 bad streaks, whereas I've had like a very brief good streak and then nothing but streak everywhere else in my experience.
Yeah, most other gacha games have some sort of catch-up mechanic where you'll rack up good karma, more or less.
Or they let you just say, okay, if you legit save enough to do 300 pulls, we'll just give you the SSR.
Yeah. Fate or FGO doesn't have that.
Yeah, see, I've been questioning the logic a little bit, because I understand that enough people play FGO that they figure that, oh well, we can just support it based on pulls anyway, so why bother? But from my personal experience, I can say that it cuts both ways. Like, on one hand, I do have the impulse, oh, if I spend money, then I could pull again, maybe get something. But I have the equal and opposite impulse that, oh well, I didn't get anything the last few times, so why would I spend money to fail again?
Yeah.
Because I'm not working towards bad luck protection the way you are in other gacha. Mm-hmm. Because there's a temptation in the gacha, it's like, well, I already rolled this many times. If I spend money, my bad luck protection is higher, so I'll be able to have a better chance. But in the case of FGO, it's like, well, the chance is the same if I spend money as if I don't. Why bother?
Yeah.
So I don't actually think that they're helping themselves business-wise. I don't think it's actually of benefit. But that might just be my opinion. They might have, good numbers that bear out an opposite reality. So I'm being chased by harpies.
Harpies? Actually, I probably should go the dexterity class if you guys are strength and int. Pew, pew, pew.
You shouldn't feel constrained. It's not like I'm playing seriously or anything. I'm getting mauled by harpies. Oh, my stars.
Oh, I was skill pointing. I was putting talents in crap. I think I just dumped it all in passives by accident. Oops.
Oh well.
Oh well.
Alright. How about you, Ari? Anything of note for your week? I think that's pretty much it for Vol.
My week?
It's been dismal.
Yeah.
A disproportionate amount of time my week was spent attempting, unsuccessfully, to figure out how to give you guys Christmas gifts.
Steam, why?
So, Steam is all but not an option unless I get lucky and happen to find something I can stuff down your throat. My backup plan was, okay, well, I'll just get them digital Google Play gift cards or whatever they use for FGO, and just get them Cent Coins, whatever. That'll work, right?
Buying the gift of salt.
Yeah. Well, can't even do that, apparently, because y'all's country don't sell digital versions of the gift cards.
No.
I think that maybe you're not actually supposed to. I think that maybe the fact that you can in other countries is actually people bending the rules.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Amazon, there's a freaking card on Amazon, but outside of the US and the UK and Japan, you can't buy digital gift cards, anywhere, apparently, for these regular services.
I looked locally from a local point of view just to find out, and you can't. I could go down to the supermarket and buy one, but I can't buy one on my computer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that didn't work.
Just to rub more salt in it as well, FGO uses their own internal system. They don't go through Google Play, from what I can tell.
Well, they do-ish. You can use the...
you can put money on your account, and it will take from that first, I think. Yeah,
but the problem is Vol plays on a New Zealand account, for instance, and you play and your Google Play account that you have registered to your device is probably Australian.
Yeah.
So here's the dealio. You could switch your account to NA. It is possible, and it's fairly easy, but there's a 1-year cooldown time on that. And while you're doing that, there's a high probability you'll have trouble putting any money you actually want to put into the game from your credit card.
Yep. You'll get end up with wrong currency errors and things like that.
Yeah, it just won't let you use a credit card that's from a different region than the one you have registered to your account sometimes, depending on how it's feeling that day, from what I can tell.
Yes.
Oh, I have 5 HP.
Don't die.
Yeah, you should watch that. Your bar is entirely black on my screen.
I hit single digits. I'm glad I put the shield back on.
Yes, that would have been very unpleasant. We might have to go back and hit the shops.
Yeah, so yeah, that was a complete bust. And drove me nuts. Do I have to use my own portal?
No, you can use mine. I've just got to come back through it last. Or you can use your own.
Okay.
If we use each other's, then they don't despawn.
I'm trying to use your portal, and the game's not... Oh, it's wigging out. Okay, there we go. There we go. Now it works. Which one do I go to?
This guy over here.
No, I mean, which portal?
Oh, it'll just the purple one.
Okay. There should be a pop-up.
Yeah, you've only got one option.
I had red and purple. I didn't know which one to pick.
Yeah, the red one is the return one.
I guess that's your portal. Okay.
I should buy a hat. Oh,
I need to buy more health potions. I've been chugging them like they're going out of style.
Titan Quest.
That's ARPGs in general. But yeah, so yeah, that was the majority of the time I had this week where I was actually doing stuff at home that wasn't FGO.
You said you were going to ask the A button.
I did, and it came up with the same thing I found, basically, was you could, but there's a risk they won't be able to purchase things in the game themselves later.
Or anything else. Yeah, the bigger concern. But you know, I still want a chance at the GSSR, even though it's going to burn. It's going to burn. Yeah.
So yeah, that didn't work. The rest of my week has been prepping for end of year at work. I was literally the only person working in the office yesterday, and that drove me up the wall because there was stuff to do.
Yeah.
I was not a happy camper.
Yesterday was pretty rough for me as well. Like, it was just me and this other guy, and we were in there, and every time something was hard, we would just say, 2 people, and shrug and move on. Because that was our excuse for everything. It's like, oh, well, you can't expect us to do this because you only put 2 people.
Yeah,
there's limits to what you can practically do in a given amount of time, only supplied with, you know, half of the minimum amount of people required to make it function properly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I was just kind of like stuck in the office.
Which way are you to come back?
Yeah, I'll rough report to one of the red portals.
There you are.
Yep, there I am. But yeah, so other than that, I played a good chunk of FGO. I did some prep work for the Merlin banner and the Solomon event coming out. And I knew I'd be blowing most of the apples I got from the Babylon time, where you got two per day or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I knew I'd be blowing them here because the nodes here are just so AP efficient. It'd be silly not to. So
well, I haven't been because I don't have the sort of time that you've got to put in. My goodness.
So I've been staying up late in the evenings to kill the pillars ever since they came out. Oh, I died.
Don't die. Yeah, these little frog demon things are kind of nasty.
Yeah, I didn't know they hit that hard. But yeah, so I don't even remember where we were.
Actually, I should be able to drop my portal, and you can drop your portal and teleport straight to it.
Yeah, that might work.
Although I think you're only just down the road. Yeah, you are.
Yeah, I'm coming. I found it. I think I found it. But
can I change my doggos? There we go.
But yeah, what else did I do? That was really kind of it. Was prepping for end of year at work alone, and trying to figure out how to get y'all Christmas gifts, which is starting to really frustrate me because I've spent, like, no jokes, 8 hours this week trying to figure out how the heck I'm going to get y'all Christmas gifts.
I'm just going to spend hours and hours on Steam until I find something that works.
Or you can
and so yeah, that could also happen.
Yeah.
Or you might end up with Daikatana, like that. Daikatana has happened.
I'm still not sure I can forgive you for that.
Yeah, y'all are going to have to probably just live with whatever Steam says yes to.
Yeah, I've updated my wish list, but good luck to actually seeing if any of those will work. There's a few games actually on my wish list which are unavailable to buy in Australia still.
I was able to buy Zone of the Enders, the new release of Zone of the Enders 2 for my brother in Australia.
Nice.
A while back, a couple months ago. So evidently there is enough overlap that there are some things that can be purchased.
We shall see. We shall see. The event at the moment seems to be pretty kind of arbitrary anyway. You've got your whole sale going on and the usual attached gimmick This time it's open up an advent calendar and get things. I'm not sure what they're supposed to be for.
I haven't even looked at the Steam event, TBH.
Well, you get...
I didn't even know there was one.
There is. I
thought they were still harping about the Game Awards.
They are also doing that.
Oh, anybody need pants?
There are no pants in this game.
Yeah, this game doesn't have pants. What are you talking about?
I have leggings that are yellow.
Yeah, actually, it does have pants now. Ragnarok, the Ragnarok expansion has it as a selling point. Finally, wear pants.
That's not a selling point. I mean, this game is famous for its lack of pants.
It is. We have to wear tiny, tiny togas. Especially if you wear the beige one, it just looks like you're naked half the time.
But yeah, I don't really have anything much else for my week itself. I've been doing a whole lot of little stuff, but nothing really to talk about.
Yeah.
I'm still in that blah mode where work just happens and you come home and I poke at mobile games and that's it.
It's no good when you're stuck in that loop.
Yeah, I need to break that loop.
Yes,
I'll have some time at Christmas to get some new media played. I'll be able to actually talk about some video games and TV shows again. But yeah, for the past month, I haven't had any new media to talk about. It's just been completely dead.
Yeah.
When I get home, I'm like, okay, I'll just play mobile games.
All right.
Man, this is what I remember as a child. Adults always talking about around Christmas time.
The doldrums.
No, the silly season where you just have to run around frantically doing everything. You don't have time to stop and think and rest or anything like that.
I know that all too well.
Yeah.
Makes me feel old.
Yes, it does. Oh wait, did we give that dowry records back? Yes, we did.
Did we?
We did.
Did we what?
Or, one of us did.
Give what to what?
So there was a quest necklace. Last time we played it, we ended up carrying that thing halfway across Greece before we came back to give it.
No, we haven't turned it in. We have not turned it in. Don't lie to me.
Oh.
I'm still carrying it.
Okay, you might want to go back and turn it. I don't have it anymore.
I don't even know where the guy is.
I don't have it. Did we pick it up?
Yeah, there's a pink item that dropped in that cave.
How do I know where the guy is? I don't know how to return it.
I don't know because he's not.
Dudes! There are dudes everywhere.
I have found friends, many friends.
You're finding friends alone because I got to go back to the cave and find this mysterious necklace. Because y'all been paranoid about grabbing stuff, so I just haven't been grabbing anything.
I grabbed it because it has the quest item color.
Yeah. If it's pink,
I don't know.
I think there's only one of them. And it just gets turned in for all of us. It's just I'm not going to be turning anything in until all these satyrs are dead, because they're chasing me all across the countryside.
Yeah, there's a battle marker over here.
We missed a whole chest in this place.
Oh, did we?
Yep. It had a band and some gold and some potions. I'll just grab them.
Okay, I'm just going to use this battle marker because satyrs. Lots and lots of satyrs.
Where the hell is the dowry guy? How far back do I have to go to find him?
He's not too far back.
Because I'm pretty sure I'm looking in the wrong place. Because I went a long way back, and I haven't seen him.
So yeah,
yeah.
I guess this is a good time to cut my week off because I just don't have anything. It's just been a real boring week as far as talking about stuff. I'm sure y'all would love to hear about how I calculated the AP efficiency of the nodes in the current Solomon event and how I prepped for them, but y'all just don't care. Nobody cares about that.
Nobody cares about that, no. Spreadsheets. Spreadsheets are, well, actually, they're not fun. Not in remotely.
No. Well, I didn't have to do them myself. I just googed a bunch of them and compared them.
Slightly cheaper.
Yeah, they were already...
Did you get that quest completion?
Yes.
Yeah, I got something. Side quest updated.
Work out.
Yeah, I'm standing by somebody's raffle portal, I think.
Yeah, there's a raffle portal. Come on up to the bridge.
Yeah, so this is a good point to transition into the email, which I should definitely not be the one to read. You said come on up to the bridge, and there's nobody on the bridge or at the end of the bridge, and now there are harpies and crows attacking me.
I'm just seeing the remnants of a battle, and this is all undiscovered territory as far as I'm aware.
Sorry,
yeah,
I left a mess.
Between the cave that I went back to come up and the bridge, there was just a bunch of dead corpses.
Well, I have to do all of the work taking this necklace back to this dude while you guys harvest EXP.
You guys, I was running back to the cave.
I made
trying to see if there was another one.
I made a friend.
To be fair, I haven't contributed to the combat at all because I do no damage because I have no spells.
I have no idea if I'm doing anything or not. I'm just clicking. Yeah. I'm hoping I take some aggro because I got a shield.
I don't know if it works like that.
No, I think it seems to be distance based and whoever aggroed first. But I can't right now cannot talk and figure out how aggro works at the same time.
I don't even. Yeah, I think it might just be for the most part whoever attacked first.
Yeah. Oh, that's 3 pigs. That's 3 little piggies.
Those are not little piggies. Those are big piggies.
Yeah, the big piggies. Kill the big piggies. So yeah, Fern, you should definitely read the email. I haven't ever grabbed one of these material things.
They don't do anything by themselves. You need to stack up a whole pile of them. Just collect a pile of. If you need one, you ask me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've been letting y'all get them because I assume y'all have a clue what they do. Oh, we aggroed these things when I ain't got any health. That would be bad. Probably shouldn't do that. But yeah, Fern, while we kill the skellies, you can pull out the email.
Try in England this time.
Try in England. It comes from our good buddy Cerathus, and he says, "Dear No Excuses. This December marks the 25th anniversary of Doom. Because they haven't written about Doom in weeks."
A Cerathus email about Doom?
I know, right? What are the odds of that?
Stop the presses.
I just let my dogs do all the work, actually, while this happens. Oh, dear. On one hand, Romero gives the bitch-making yet another shot. Apparently this is going to be an episode for Doom 1. I'm not exactly blown away, as it's stated to be a continuation of Episode 4, and Episode 4 was bad. Real bad. But...
yeah, nobody remembers that one fondly. People like the first 3.
Yeah. But you can buy a boxed special edition of it. Yay? Nay.
So he's selling a Doom wad decades after it was relevant.
Yeah.
That is so Romero.
It's just totally Romero. Boy. I'm not sure why he's actually bothered. Like, the modding community has far outpaced him in terms of what can be done with that game.
This is the man who ran ad series saying Romero's about to make you his bitch. What do you think?
Yeah. Ooh, Beast Caller's beads. Gimme.
I have turned off loot callouts somehow, and I don't know how to turn them on again.
You'll want to press X. Or you can press Z and see all of it. You don't want to see all of it.
Holy cow, no. No, thank you.
You do not want to see all of it. Whee! There it goes, just for people's reference.
I wondered why I haven't actually seen any loot in a long time. And I was like, why? I feel lonely. Are you guys taking everything?
No. So, the email continues. I'm saying this because, as usual, this year's CAC Awards have been handed out. For those not in the know, the CAC Awards are given to the best maps and mods released in the Doom engine that year, and 2018 didn't disappoint. Except when it came to AAA games, but that's in another email entirely. Oh, that's more than one email, sir.
Yeah, but that's also not really. It's not really a disappointment worth an announcement. It's not really. I'm not surprised. I'm just disappointed.
Yeah, I'm just not surprised. For the winners, we have Adventure of Square Episode 2, which is a standalone game of paint and puns set on the moon, which is made of cheese. Yeah, okay. Or Doom the Golden Souls 2, which is Super Doom World continuing from Super Doom 6. Or Wrecker, I think it's pronounced Wrecker, which is a mix of Doom and Heretic with a strange Viking punk setting. Ashes 2063. Viking punk, I know. That sounds cool.
I'm not really sure what that sounds like, to be quite honest.
Yeah, I'm having trouble with the picture and in the head map.
It's like, steampunk and everything has top hats and valves. This is everything has axes and beards.
So, I'm just still not clicking. It's some kind. I don't know.
I'm liking on people continuing on Heretic and Hexen because I love those two. I'm terrible at
I was never really never anywhere as much fond of Doom as I was Heretic.
Yeah. Ooh, give me that. But I'll admit that pushing a pigman down, petrifying a pigman and pushing him down the stairs never gets old.
Petrifying anything and pushing it down anything doesn't get old. Like, that was my favorite thing to do in Skyrim. Was to to find like a bear or something, cast paralysis on it, and then punt it off a mountain.
Yeah, or you can just get a horse and let it God mode. Where were we? Ashes 2063, Mad Max Doom style with biker gangs and mutants and scavenging. Yeah, the Doom modding scene already showed more creativity than the N+1th hero shooter reloaded into Battle Royale FPS. These actually sound really, really fun. And really original and just interesting. You know,
yeah, people more or less know that engine inside out now, so when they create things for it, they've got a lot of latitude to do a real good job.
Do all sorts of weird and wacky things with it. And yet, you know, it's not called World War II again. Except this time the Nazis are from Jupiter. Usually that's about the degree of creativity you get in the AAA industry these days. Blah. In other news, after quite a long break, I have finished Monster Hunter World. That laser dragon, yo. I have a feeling this is going to be one of those the real game starts now situations. I just realized... Yeah. I just realized that I'm way behind on my optional quests and tempered investigations and whatever comes after the 2 tempered Betelgeuse assignment.
Betelgeuse.
Serathus, the monster hunting noob who needs to block thus uses a gun lance. Gun lance is awesome. Do not knock the gun lance.
I like the gun lance.
It is the most ridiculous weapon. It is so cool.
I can't use it worth a damn.
Yeah.
I'm no good with the gun lance. I like it, but I'm no good with it.
I like it.
I can't use any of the slow weapons very good in that game.
Yeah.
I need to be able to move. I need things with not a lot of recovery time, so when Teostra starts exploding, I can turn my butt around and start running.
Yeah, gotta either master that dodge roll or the panic dive, or get good and block.
No, how you do it is you see something happening, you Superman dive, and you book it the other direction. That's how you play that game.
Yes. Unless it's something like Behemoth, in which case you just die. Oh, speaking of die.
Yeah, like, the dog. I need your dogs.
Me dogs.
Need your dogs, dog.
That's a lot of pigs. Where did you even find all those pigs?
I don't know. This game has some rather wonky bits of balancing in it. Sometimes you just get pigs. Capital pigs.
I'm starting to wish I'd invested in some spells.
You might want to do that.
Oh gosh. No.
Any spells at all.
Get him, dog. More dog.
Yes. More dogs. Please, more dogs.
I think the dogs are doing all the work.
They probably are. We don't have I don't have a clue what I'm doing. So
I set them aggressive and let them do their thing, which is to dog.
I just know I walk in, everything attacks me, and I start running around and hope y'all kill it.
Maybe next time I get a level up, I'll buy a spell.
Oh, they're all attacking me again.
So thanks for the email, Sarah. One of these days I will sit down and play some of these Doom mods, because these sound really fun. Well, some sound really hard also, and others sound really, really silly. I certainly do see the appeal of playing paintball on the cheese moon.
Yeah.
That's a very strange sentence to say as well.
Yes, it is.
So we should actually try and find a stopping point here and probably take a break. Then we will look at the year that was and the stuff that's going on now.
We're at a crossroads right now without much of the map revealed. Oh, there's a bunch of dudes here.
We're actually
Sparta!
Sparta! Leonidas' doorstep, except Leonidas is a jerk and won't talk to us.
Okay. So is this a good stopping point?
This is a very good stopping point.
Okay. So let's park it here then.
Alright.
Why has this guy got a big lightning bolt on his head?
He can strip augments off weapons.
I see. That's interesting. Okay. So let's take a break then and get some water and settle ourselves, and we'll be right back. Bad Let's Play live stream shenanigans continue.
Very.
I don't think
very
bad
bad.
does not quite cover it. I haven't bought any spells yet.
I have one spell, and it's Doggos.
I have one spell, and it just replaces my basic attack so that my extra attack does something else. The text was too long, so I didn't read it all.
Yeah, for Warfare, you kind of need that.
Yeah, it's something like your every attack stacks something on you or something. Okay, cool. Replace the basic attack. Got it.
Yeah.
That's about as far as I read.
So you get glowy circle feet.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could potentially, kind of rush your way up to new skills, but then you lose a lot of stat points. Or you could rush stat points, but then you have no skills.
Presumably, there's some optimal balance.
Presumably, yes. I'm yet to
There's
find
probably
it.
there's probably an optimal like min-max route, which is probably different to what is optimal to actually play.
Yeah.
Like probably rushing a skill is the min-max way.
Just to get one skill leveled up as far as you can before you move on.
I don't know. Depends. Maybe if there's a skill that is really good with low mastery.
Maybe.
Or yeah, because none of us know the theory craft for this.
No,
so.
and we're not about to really go digging into it. Pew, pew.
Do the pew pew noises help?
Yes. Pew pew noises always help.
Why is an energy regen chest piece requiring 70 strength?
Yeah, that's the other thing that about this game is the stats don't make a whole lot of sense.
Arbitrary stat requirements to equip stuff.
Well, the rules are made up and the stats don't.
It's actually rather telling if you've got... Like, here we go. This over here is a bow, which requires dexterity but gives strength.
Good old...
It's a bow of brawn, sir.
It's a brawny bow.
Good old
It
school ARPG nonsense. I'm still using a level 3 spear.
Yeah, you might want to just pick up a white one.
I'm using a level 3 staff. You're using a no-level chest piece. You can use it from the very start of the game.
Yeah.
Same. Mine has 38% energy regen on it.
My bow
Mine has 9
yellow.
armor and nothing else.
I have a yellow bow, but it's also level 3. Gotta love those arbitrary requirements. Alright, we should probably talk some news.
Do we have any?
News do we have?
There's a few things around. You really want to... I feel like we should make fun of EA. Because they're EA.
What for this time?
Because EA is so out of touch, they actually needed to establish a committee to talk to the community about what they want for a remaster for Command & Conquer.
Like, it to be Command & Conquer would be a good start. But I would have thought that would be obvious.
Well, isn't the definition of a remaster is you give it a fresh coat of paint, make it work on modern systems, and change nothing?
Change the absolute minimum of the game in order to make it look twink.
Yes.
Maybe a couple quality of life changes here and there, but for the most part, you want to keep it entirely intact.
You don't want to make any huge sweeping changes. That's when you end up with a remake.
Yeah, don't touch the mechanics and you're pretty good.
Yeah.
And you better not touch the FMV.
Yeah.
Do not touch the FMV.
Yeah.
If you remove even one small tiny slice of ham, there will be riots.
Yeah. Yeah, if I don't get my glorious 240p fantastic bad acting cutscenes, I'm gonna riot in the streets.
If they just put them out at a higher resolution without that strange horizontal graining that sometimes came up.
Do you think that they still have the original tapes somewhere?
Maybe.
I guarantee they don't exist.
In the basement of the old Westwood building or something?
That was probably sold off for somebody's cocaine factory. No, I do not have a high opinion of EA. Why do you ask?
What does alleviating as a prefix mean?
Health regen?
Poison resist. Poison resist.
Okay.
Do you want poison resist?
No.
No.
You into that?
It's not fire resist.
You'll probably want some sort of resistances later, but nah.
Oh, we'll worry about it when we get there. Punch
the obvious take is that this committee is not intended to serve the purpose on the can. It's just a PR maneuver to make it look like they actually give a toss when clear that.
Yeah.
Because all you need to do is look at their actual behaviour in every other circumstance. It'll tell you everything you need to know.
I'm thinking it's even more cynical than that. Like, this is made up of modders, streamers, pro gamers, things like that. The people who will be the
people
loudest,
with promotional power.
Yeah, the people who will be the absolute loudest if they screw it up. So why not put them on the payroll and shut them up that way?
Yeah. I didn't see anything in the article that says this group is unpaid.
I did not either.
So
of course they're paid.
Yeah, so they...
It's not even a question.
They could have tried, but no.
Yeah, if they'd come out and said that EA is not paying them, I could actually believe that, but nobody would do it if they weren't being paid.
No, it's impossible for them not to get paid because the lowest sum that they can possibly get paid is early access to the project.
Yeah, there will be some compensation in some form or another. That's still payment.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's just... Is it EA acknowledging that they're out of touch, or is it just them trying to silence their loudest critics?
It's an advertisement. It's a simple advertisement. That's all.
They're trying to generate hype and trying to generate goodwill after the absolute travesty of CNC Rivals. But it's also incredibly transparent.
Nope, I leveled up. I can put a skill in something.
Woo!
I bought a spell, but I can only use it like every 12 seconds.
Bad doggos! My doggos went ahead. There's many pig. Many pigs that have a very specific aggro radius by the look of it. So yeah, I want to be enthusiastic for the Command & Conquer remaster. But it's EA.
Yeah.
And that's always going to hang over the heads of everything they do.
Yeah. So this isn't quite hold my beer caliber.
No.
But it shows that they have beer in hand and are looking for somebody to pass it.
They are considering the potential beer handoff.
Yeah, the handling capacity of their neighbours for additional beers.
Yes. Boy, oh boy. You're starting to get sales numbers. Does anyone really care about sales numbers other than the fact that Fallout 76 actually outsold Battlefield 5 on consoles?
Help!
Yeah, I'm dead.
Help!
Oh, that's a boss.
Yeah,
help!
That's a boss. You found Mr. Grumpy Centaur.
I'm trying.
Don't play with Mr. Grumpy Centaur.
I'm trapped.
Oh damn, I can't take the quick way back either. There's friends here.
Let's try at least kill some of the trash.
We're making progress through the trash. I think the boss de-aggroed.
Yeah, he does. He leashes after a bit.
We're shameful to spray.
To spray?
Spray.
Right.
Shameful to spray.
Whoops. I'm going to pick up this pointed stick and bring it to Ari. You might actually get some use out of this pointed stick.
I'm trying to stun the boss. He is immune to stuns.
Yes, he is.
Ain't that lovely?
Because he's a big fat jerk like that.
Ain't that lovely?
We've got him down to not quite half.
Doggo time.
Oh, here come the doggos. The cavalry is here.
Okay.
The doggos are doing all the work.
Why am I taking you? I can't stand you. I just put points at this damn thing. Hey,
Yeah,
drop
have
the
a stick.
shield. Is it any good? A stick.
Have
Heavy
a stick.
crude spear.
Pointy stick.
He comes with a pointy stick.
He does.
And now,
about my deeps.
there's a few centaurs in here, and there's treasure. There is much
Nope,
treasure.
that actually is worse DPS than what I got.
Boo.
Yeah, when I put points in
He
the
has a
stun,
big
it's
fat
not
chest.
working.
Bunch chest.
Does he have a big fat chest?
He does. Not that way, though.
Where?
It's over here. Oh, hang on. There's a friend up here. All right. I want to kind of other news articles. I suppose we could talk about the launch of Atlas, but that's an ongoing fiasco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about Ubi?
Oh no! What have they done this time?
With their special promotion involving pre-ordering energy drink.
Oh yeah. Right.
So, never one to be left out of a good hold my beer competition.
The beers are very much held.
Ubi has decided that what they really need to do to promote the Division 2, was it Division 2? I think it was.
The Division 2, yes.
Is to have beta access able to be obtained by pre-ordering a 12-pack of Mountain Dew energy drink from the Walmart online store.
Was it Gamer Fuel or something?
Yeah, like Game Fuel or something like that.
It looks absolutely vile.
Well, you think that of every energy drink, so you're not really conveying much information there.
Well, that's because every energy drink is vile.
Oh, crap, I left one in the freezer. BRB.
Wait, what now?
I left an energy drink in the freezer. BRB.
Oh, no. So, yeah, if you want pre-access to the Division 2, you can go to your local Walmart and pre-order a pack of these energy drinks. And that's how, from what I can tell, the only way at the moment to get your beta access.
Yeah.
For those that don't know, if you put an energy drink in the freezer and forget about it, it explodes.
Yeah, it does. You ever want to do that.
Why was it in the freezer?
Because fridges are too warm.
Uh-huh.
What?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I got a new shield and spear. That's good. I threw my old spear on the ground.
What am I doing? Threw it on the ground!
I'm just wondering what sort of numbers people will be getting on these energy drinks.
Numbers?
And how many people are actually going to fall for this and buy it? How many people are going to simply buy the energy drinks and then throw them away just to get the beta key? Or the
12 pack of energy drinks costs 20 American bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, 12 packs for energy drinks are not cheap.
So
they that said, I have bought them before.
Why? Why would you do that?
Because they're mana pots, dog.
No, they're not. They're snake oil.
They're a way to trick your brain. It doesn't matter whether the snake oil or not. You just have to believe it works, and it works.
No, caffeine works. It's very well documented.
Caffeine works.
Yeah, but even if it didn't, you just got to tell yourself it works, and you can treat them like mana pots and keep yourself going when you got to stay up late one night and work until 2 a.m. in the morning.
I guess you can run on caffeine and placebo.
It works. Trust me.
Why don't they just say there's buttloads of caffeine in them instead of adding all this other weird stuff that doesn't seem to do anything?
Probably gives you cancer.
Probably gives you cancer. Some of the sweeteners they do certainly do.
I can actually see myself doing damage now.
Yeah.
Like the health bars actually move when I actually manage to hit, and the thing doesn't run away.
Ooh, I have skill points. Does that mean more doggos? That means better doggos. Go, my doggos.
Yeah, we need those things. We need those things to carry us, Fern.
Yeah, summons in the early game are kind of busted, especially if you're
as they are in all RPGs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna have to invest some points and some more spells. Because having one spell that you can use every 12 seconds is not really panic.
No, it's not. What other bits of news do we have? I don't really want to talk about the legality of Bethesda's systems. Blah. That's about it. Again, it's Christmas doldrums. You're not going to get a whole lot of news.
Well,
Dead air was me rebinding my stun to a easier to hit button.
All right. So we can
you guys?
We can have a quick skim over what games actually came out this year and see what turned out to be good and what turned out to be garbage.
You're running the show this week, Fern, so if you got it, we can do it.
We can do that. If you've got the list up, then you can jump on in. Otherwise, I'll just go down the list and note anything of note.
You can start going down that list.
All right. So,
because we have a corrupted satyr spamming crap at us with a yellow name.
All right. So the first game of any real actual note, and by note in this case, I really actually just mean salt. January, we have Street Fighter V Arcade Edition. That came out, and now it's slathered in ads.
It was. I feel so conflicted about Street Fighter because it looked like they were cleaning up their game with Street Fighter. Even though it flopped hard and they didn't get the sales they needed.
How so? What led you to that conclusion originally?
So mostly with them supporting the game by cutting the prices of old DLC content down to basically nothing, and making it so that they actually went back and reworked all the old characters that broke the game because of the game mechanically, on both the casual and competitive level, by giving everyone a second B trigger. And they went and they tidied up a lot of the maps. They added more maps. They kept adding content to the game in a way that made sense and fixing old broken content. So I was like, okay, it looks like they're doing a good thing here. They're trying to fix their boo-boo. And then the ads happened.
Hold my beer. I'm going to stick ads on this thing.
Yeah, it was like they kind of had stuff going in their favor for a bit. And the whole FGC was happy with them for trying to at least try to fix stuff. And then the ads happened.
Yep.
And they're probably going to be number one again.
I mean, if you want a gigantic billboard, there's few bigger blank spaces than Chun-Li's enormous thighs, but come on, really? Just ads in games, live ads in games never work. They're never appreciated.
Yeah, they've been trying to push this for a long time, and I think the only place that you can feasibly get away with them is in sports games because, you know,
sponsors.
If you watch sports on telly, there's already ads. Pitch.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the turning point where a sports broadcast is more ads than actual sports.
Pretty sure that's already a thing.
It's getting close.
If you look at American football, that's the state of the nation.
Yeah, the Australian Rugby League is not far behind. Everything is sponsored. The scoreboard is sponsored. The video ref is sponsored. The video ref mum is sponsored.
In American football, in the last quarter, coaches will chain call timeout if it's a close game all the time, and use up all their allotted timeouts to try and stall the clock out, because it stops the clock between plays when you call a timeout.
Right.
So they'll try and stall the game out to give themselves more time to actually make the plays. And every single time they do it, there's like a 4-minute commercial break in between plays. It is the most obnoxious thing to watch football in America. I don't know how people manage to do it.
You watch NASCAR.
I would rather watch NASCAR.
Turn left.
Like, at least the commentators are interesting.
Turn left. And every now and again you get a car crash.
I don't actively watch NASCAR. I passively won't turn it off if it's on the TV.
I seem to have this...
It's better than... Fern, we're literally running in circles and we're following.
I know, I was just checking the little black spots.
Yeah.
Well, so long as you know what you're doing.
I had just this horde of people and dogs following me.
Yeah. So, like, we're following you. I assume you know where you're going.
Let me see. Other games that launched in January. Subnautica. Go play that game if you have any sort of interest in the survival genre. That game is really, really good. And more to the point, it's a survival game with goals and an endpoint and a story. You can ignore the story if you want and just, go and swim and look at giant fishes and get eaten by them. But, yeah, go and check it out. There is a standalone expansion coming up called Below Zero, which is more of the same in a Arctic environment, or possibly Antarctic.
I thought that game was all underwater, though. How can you be underwater if all the water's frozen?
That's an interesting question. I don't know how they're going to handle it and how much of the gameplay is actually going to be, on the surface this time around. There seems to be hints that more of it will be above water than in the previous one, but yeah, the first one you have a small floating island which you spend maybe 5 minutes on it before you accomplish everything, and a larger alien facility stuck to the side of a dormant volcano, which you spend maybe 10 to 15 minutes on. Yeah. Maybe a little bit longer, and you have to go back for the end point. The rest of the game is all underwater.
I watched one YouTube guy talk about it that I like, and that was, he gave it an okay review, said it was a decent game. He wasn't particularly...
It had a lot of
blowing about it.
Bugs and things initially, even after the early access launch. Graphical tearing and all of that sort of fun. But most of that's been sorted out now. You'll still get the occasional draw distance shenanigans, but by and large it's very solid now. Interested to see what they do with the expansion. Let me see. Celeste also came out in January, apparently. I thought that came out
about that a lot.
Earlier. We did last week. Dragon Ball FighterZ.
Talked about that a lot throughout the year too.
Yeah, we did. They've added even more content. They just keep adding stuff to that game. It's crazy.
Yeah, Season 2 of the character roster should be coming out. We don't know if it'll have any new content yet. None's been announced, so...
Yeah, but fighting game, the characters are the content.
Yeah, but they were actually adding, like, new modes and online features as the game went on, too.
Nice.
Like, they really wanted that game to keep doing good just to keep rubbing it in Street Fighter's face.
It's not hard. Just be good and treat your customers with a modicum of respect.
Even if it was just them being sensible, it comes off as them taking their win and running with it.
Yeah. Ooh, staff. Shiny staff.
Somebody take the shiny staff, even though they're not staff you.
I think Burn did.
No, I don't think I did. I'll check my what's in my inventory once we stop dying. There we are. No, I don't have the staff.
Here's the staff.
Howard, do you still have that bow? Where'd you go?
It's in the bank.
Okay, we'll get it later. Other game, of course, that came out in January, Monster Hunter World.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it. It seemed this year's time... I mentioned this before the show a lot. It hit me today that this year has been really wonky with how its time has passed.
Yep.
Like, it feels like stuff that happened before this year happened, like, yesterday. But everything that happened this year happened, like, a billion years ago.
There are games, honestly, it feels like just the way time seems to have gone this year, that they only came out mid-year, and yet it feels like they came out 2 years ago.
But I was also fairly sure that No Man's Sky only came out this year.
No, it only became playable this year. It's been out for like 3 years now. 2.5, 3 years. It's kind of crazy when you really think about it.
Uh-oh. I made friends.
Is it really an advantage to taking a second mastery this early on?
Can be. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Depends on what you want to do, I guess.
I'm bringing friends.
Are you?
There's like 20 skeletons behind me.
No, there's not.
Oh, they give up?
They got bored and left you alone.
Okay.
Come, doggos. We have bones to dig up. Also zombies.
Sepulcher.
Alright.
Sepulcher.
February, Night in the Woods. That game was that became the indie darling for quite a while, unfortunately.
Yeah, that was. I have not played that game because the indie scene won't shut up about it.
Yeah.
It's hit a state.
The what now? What? I miss the name of what you said.
Night in the Woods.
I don't know anything about
it. It's Ooh, what's that? Yoink. That's an axe. Boy. Yeah, it's from what I can tell, it was a point-and-click adventure game about a weird little cat who goes back to her hometown and finds that everyone is grown up, yes, but is also completely and utterly mental.
Yeah,
See?
It was just a you got back from college and your friends are grown up story. It looked really, really boring.
Yeah.
Like, nothing to hold your interest at all, but it was the indie darling for some reason.
Yep.
And even in a worse sense than Undertale, because it was a message piece, it just completely turned me off.
Hmm.
Yeah, it didn't really try to hide its intentions.
They seem to big chunk of ice at the top of the can.
So your can was close to exploding.
Yes.
Oh dear.
Things were going in an unintentional and undesirable direction.
Yeah. Let's see. There was a lot of launches in a lot of games that came out in the February. Owlboy came out then. That game was actually pretty good.
All I remember about it is that Ari said he wasn't very good at being an Owlboy.
You couldn't Owlboy properly, could you?
No, I mean Owlboy wasn't very good at being Owlboy.
Oh.
Oh yeah, he can't fly very well. He has to like hover, and he picks up dudes and has to have them fight for him. Yep.
What else we got? Shadow of the Colossus remake again on the PS4. How many times are they going to relaunch that game? Seriously.
That time it was, I wouldn't say it was worth full price, but it was worth like the $20 I asked for it.
Well, I mean, like, I've never actually played it myself, so
really,
for me, it would probably be worth it.
Sure.
Yeah, I've never really felt the need because I've watched it be played by other people, like almost all the way through twice. IRL, so it doesn't really seem like a worthwhile expenditure of my time to go and then play it myself.
Fair enough.
My only thing with that game is there is still, every time I go back and poke at it, and I just don't play long enough, and I forget how to kill all the Colossi, I'm like, okay, how the heck do I get on top of your head? It's always some wonky, roundabout way, like you gotta shoot the bow in a specific spot or something. Yeah. Or you gotta get the giraffe thing to look in a certain hole and then run around to the other side and climb up his tail. Like, it's weird stuff like that you wouldn't think of normally.
Yeah. So it's still a great game, though.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's very... $20 ain't bad for it.
$20 is definitely worth the price. If you haven't played it before, go and do it. It's great. Rust apparently came out in February.
I see this game on people playlist all the time and never touched it.
I'm pretty sure that came out like 8 years ago.
Yes, that's a blatant lie. It's one of these cases where the thing has been in perpetual beta for years and they finally decided to take the beta label off it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so it's not just me getting old.
No, this is lies. Lies. And there's this smudge here on February that doesn't seem to exist. That it's got Dynasty Warriors Nin.
I don't remember there being one of those.
No, I don't remember that game either.
Doesn't seem like a thing that actually happened.
No, so that's obviously a mistake. That's not there. Never mind that. Let me see. We had Metal Gear Survive in February. Good and grief, didn't that game fall on its face?
What the crap was that?
What was that?
What was Metal Gear Survive?
Metal Gear Survive was essentially exactly what it says on the tin. It's a survival game where you're an agent in the Metal Gear universe. You get sucked into some sort of dimensional wormhole, and you have to go and not die. It was as awful as it sounds.
I see.
Yeah. So that game bombed, and it seemed like more or less just a very cynical attempt for Konami to try and cash in on whatever little bit of goodwill that Kojima had left behind him. Little did they know, there was no goodwill left behind Kojima. They burned that bridge so thoroughly that nobody wants anything to do with Konami anymore.
I guess. They probably see it as just, it was a good idea to cut this guy because the games don't sell.
Well, his games were selling, though. It's completely
relative to pachinko machines?
Relative to pachinko machines, no.
Because that's the only metric that matters.
Where did we go from here? Oh, we go this way.
I don't know. I'm still following you, Fern, so...
Oh, I'm in Helos. I don't know where you guys are.
Oh, you've gone ahead.
No, Helos is the starting town.
What are you doing back there? Hey, I'll drop a portal.
I'm not very good at this game, in case you didn't notice.
We can wait for Vol to get back.
How did you get back
Fern.
there?
Or Fern can just kill Ford and keep killing stuff.
Portals.
Oh, yeah, the doggos are aggressive. The doggos will do whatever. Boing, boing, boing. Let me see.
Yeah.
Anything else of interest that came out in February? H1Z1. That was also... Oh, right. H1Z1 Battle Royale.
What isn't?
What isn't? Yeah, nobody cared. At all.
Mm-hmm.
It came out and it had a player base at most in the hundreds. So, yeah, another case of let's jump on the Battle Royale bandwagon and oh no, Fortnite is taking all of the money. Like, just don't compete with Fortnite. It doesn't end well.
Yeah.
Alright. I think that's about it for February. March. You had Devil May Cry HD Collection came out again. Again.
On what? I think it got
on
re-released
the everything.
on different platforms. Okay. Yeah, that was the thing.
Yep. You had Assassin's Creed Rogue Remastered. I'm not sure why that was actually remastered. Nobody knew about the first game.
Oh no, it's the second.
Rogue. What's Assassin's Creed Rogue? I don't remember that.
I don't know. I forget. But Assassin's Creed at this point has just become an amorphous blob of mediocre titles and terrible decisions. I'm sure there's someone out there who still cares about the series.
Maybe.
People keep buying the games. I'm not sure why.
I'm not sure they do it because they care. If they just buy it out of reflex.
Oh look, another terrible assassin game that has absolutely nothing to do with assassins. Or
Hey, I really thought that they were onto a good thing for a while.
They were. The first, up to probably about halfway through Assassin's Creed 2. And I say that being, there's maybe 6 Assassin's Creed 2s. They had a good thing. Like a sneak around a gigantic historical city and stab people in interesting ways. They seem to have forgotten about the sneaking and the stabbing.
Well, they were at their best when they were not being assassins and being pirates instead.
That's also true.
But now they keep doing stuff like, sanitized historical revisionist tours of ancient locales and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's not actually a market for that. That's not a thing.
No,
and I don't know how they managed to become convinced that it was.
Just stop buying Assassin's Creed games, people. They're not good.
Play Spider-Man instead if you want your open world tower game.
Play Spider-Man. Spider-Man is really good. Play Spider-Man. Here's another game you shouldn't play. Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves. Another No Man's Sky.
Yeah. Really got the popular phrase going. Wide as an ocean, deep as a teaspoon.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I understand why people think that all you have to do is, make a framework and players will just magically create your content for you. Like, that's not actually what emergent gameplay is. Like, you've got to give people tools.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's even more cynical than that. They more or less just slapped Rare's label on it and said, "Hey, look, it's Rare not making a Connect game."
Yeah.
Poor Rare.
Yeah.
Poor Rare. We missed the old Rare. Can we have the old Rare back? We'd like the old Rare.
What
Fern,
year did Yooka-Laylee come out?
Last
Fern, where
year.
are you?
I've moved back forward again.
Okay, I found you. Couldn't find you on the map.
Nah. Pew, 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 pew.
What year did Yooka-Laylee come out?
Last year, I
year?
believe. Yes.
What year did A Hat in Time come out?
Also last year.
Last year.
Okay. I'm really having difficulty with time right now.
Yeah.
Same.
I know, right? That was such a night and day comparison between Hat in Time and Yooka-Laylee. Like, Yooka-Laylee, it's perfectly by the numbers. It is Banjo-Kazooie, but it included all the bad stuff as well as the good.
Well, that's not even it. It's the game lacked polish.
It did. A lot of polish.
Like, if I go back and play Banjo-Kazooie now, I can, like, without nostalgia goggles on, say it's better than Yooka-Laylee.
Yeah, you can.
Yooka-Laylee just has problems.
Yep.
As a video game.
I think we're finding
a lot of them
here, by the way.
Yeah, like the movement isn't as slick. Like the puzzle layout isn't as thought out. Some of the timers are way too lenient. Some of them are way too strict.
Yep.
On some of the challenges you got to do. I know. I plattied it. I got everything in that game.
Why did you platty that? I got bored. I don't think I even finished the final boss.
Abo was really into Yooka-Laylee. He liked it a lot, so he pressured me to keep playing it.
On the other hand, though, you've got a Hat in Time, which is just pure joy all the way through.
Yep, did pretty much everything right.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't even like those collect 'em up games, but I was still sort of tempted to play a Hat in Time, and I may eventually get to it.
I highly recommend it. It doesn't take itself even remotely seriously. You know, I still don't have anything in my head slot. I should probably actually do something about that.
You just got a hat, so...
I just got a hat, but I can't equip it.
Ah.
I can finally upgrade my armor that I've been wearing since the start of the game.
I like this stun. It makes life way easier for us.
Other games that came out in March, Far Cry 5. It's Far Cry. It's just another one.
Yeah.
Far Cry is just another... That's the best description of Far Cry that I've ever heard.
Yeah. Sadly, that applies to every Ubisoft sandbox. Like, it's Assassin's Creed, another one.
Yeah. It seems to be a running thing with
this is just the natural outcome of everybody deciding that all of their franchises need to be annualized.
Yeah, sooner or later you hit a saturation point.
You hit
people stop
Assassin's
caring.
Creed. Another one.
Yeah. Admittedly, we probably stopped caring sooner than other people, but even people who've followed these series religiously are kind of getting sick of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you've got Far Cry 5, and now you've got Far Cry 5 Rage 2, I guess. Honestly, I watched the trailer for the Far Cry expansion and the one for Rage 2, and they look like the same. They're the same game. There's very little difference. Even the aesthetics are the same.
Ooh, it's shield. Is that better than my shield?
You seem to be getting a lot of good shields.
Yeah, I've got a second one. I'll throw the one I use that's worse on the ground, since I'm actually using it.
Well, I mean, we can't use shields, so...
No, I'm using...
we're not really doing shield builds.
Staff.
Mm.
Let me see. Keeping on moving. Other games that came out in March. Detective Pikachu, apparently. I thought that came out last year.
Really? I thought that came out like about 15 years ago.
Is that just you feeling old?
I thought it wasn't out yet, TBH. I forgot about it.
I thought that it like came out on the 64 or something. I think that was something else.
That was Hey You Pikachu.
That was Hey You Pikachu. Hey You Pikachu was awful.
I had that game. I had the little microphone to try and talk to Pikachu.
It
doesn't understand it doesn't understand a southern accent.
It doesn't understand any accent.
Does it understand English, period?
No.
No. Pikachu, go left. Pikachu, cast the line.
It just
you sound like you're talking to Alexa.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
It was the same sort of concept, except you're talking to a Pikachu.
You would have to press the button, talk into it, hey Pikachu, let go of the button, and it sends your speech in this bubble animation to Pikachu, and it gets its attention. And you have to give it a command, like if you're fishing, cast the line out. And it was really overly complicated phrases like that would always get misinterpreted, and the Pikachu would look at you and go like, what?
Yeah. Like the whole idea was you use voice commands to guide Pikachu through what passed for a story.
No, it wasn't even a story. It was just a bunch of bad voice minigames.
Yeah, it was. You had to guide him through all this stuff, and you'd reach the end, at which point you unlocked, I think it was an anime episode or something.
No, I think you got little snippets of like the anime commercial cuts, like the poker app and stuff, but that was it.
Yeah,
you just tried to get the high score with that stuff, basically.
But you give Pikachu a command, and sometimes he'd do it if he'd feel like it, or other times he'd do the complete opposite.
Did he sell your personal information to third-party demographic buyers?
Thankfully, this game was not published by EA, so no.
Yeah, no. Pikachu just couldn't understand you.
Pikachu was dumb as a rock.
Hey, you look like a nymph or a sprite or an Nereid or something.
This is also the game that inspired one of the most terrifying-looking movies of recent time. That isn't Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, I thought that, like, realistic Pokemon, they looked okay, but still terrifying. They look weird. But then you've got realistic Sonic, and, yeah. To be fair, the producers of this movie have actually started responding, and they're kind of in on the joke. So they've got a picture of what is presumably Sonic with gigantic legs, holding up a sign.
Like Chun-Li legs?
Like Chun-Li legs. Holding up a sign saying, "Be back next year."
With normal-looking legs, perhaps?
Maybe.
Yeah, I think that, I would be more interested in watching a feature-length episode of Sonic Boom than watching
Sonic Boom,
weird Hollywood Sonic.
Sonic Boom, the cartoon, is actually surprisingly watchable. The games aren't. The games are awful, but the cartoon is not that bad. So I could happily watch a feature-length episode of that.
Actually, where does that even air? Do you have to watch it online, or is it on television, or what?
Nortflix.
How about no?
How about no?
I don't really want to fund them destroying more of my childhood.
You could also fund them destroying your childhood, because there's a Skylanders series as well, which is also surprisingly watchable. Until Crash turns up.
So what's the difference between the Netflix shows that come out well and the Netflix shows which come out to be complete cultural poison?
It seems to be they just leave it up to the developer, and if they don't fund it directly. But if they get involved, that seems to be the death knell that I've seen.
Yeah, if they get directly
if Netflix themselves are involved in any way other than being a platform, then it becomes a problem.
Yes.
Yeah. There's what you call it? There's a difference between a Netflix exclusive that is just Netflix on Netflix only and funded and produced by Netflix as well.
Yeah. Like, you've got the Netflix exclusive, the new Voltron series. Really good. Netflix didn't write anything for it. They just provide the platform.
Yeah. Sometimes you get I think the Castlevania series was both funded and exclusive to Netflix, but the director still kept full control somehow.
Yeah. Sometimes you get, the Golden Lightning you get the best of both worlds. But
yeah, that's a rare.
That's rare.
It's usually if Netflix has their hand in stuff, bad things are going to happen.
Yeah. What should I do here? Could I make more doggos?
I'm really not sure where to put these points.
Yeah, I got 4.
I've done nothing but behave in a humiliating and inefficient fashion so far. I'm not really sure if there's any change coming in the wind here. I'm pretty sure miserable humiliation is just where I live these days.
Yeah, there we go. I've maxed out the basic doggos. I'll never get 2 of them. Alright.
I don't want to find...
Games that launched in April. Lots of stuff that nobody... there's plenty of re-releases in here. There's lots of Switch ports. Let me see... BattleTech launched in that month, the strategy MechWarrior game. Not for everyone. I'll freely admit that game, but I quite liked it. God of Boy launched in April.
Boy.
Is there anything really worth saying on the God of Boy that we haven't actually already said? It's Game of the Year now.
Yeah. I mean, it's got a boy.
It's got a boy.
What else?
Nintendo Labo also launched in April. I can see the appeal of Labo, kind of, for kids.
What was that again?
That's
the cardboard box?
That's the cardboard box.
Oh, no, that's a cardboard box, dude.
Yeah, like, kids would love this sort of thing. But...
No, dude, that's a cardboard box.
That's a cardboard...
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Like,
kids are cats.
You know, when I wanted like a cool robot as a kid, I would like get sellotape and a bunch of cardboard, and I would make my robot.
Yeah.
Like, that was how I did things when it was my generation as children.
Duct tape and cardboard boxes. Yes.
What it didn't cost was $100.
Yeah.
What I would do is play make believe with the Legos.
Yeah, that's where my robots usually came from, was Lego.
Hey, I didn't have a robot phase, but
everyone had
if I wanted to play make believe with something, it was the Legos. The giant box of Legos that they got for super cheap, that don't match, don't make anything normally, just a big old box of Legos.
Yep. The amount of fun you could have with a Lego box, and the amount of sore feet you could have by just leaving blocks around.
Yeah, about to say, the amount of times I got yelled at by my parents for not cleaning it up.
Were they actual Legos, or were they like...
the off-brand?
No, they were legit Legos.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because off-brand Legos are a scourge.
Yes.
Oh no, I can't move it, I'm gonna die.
You died, stop that.
Put a portal down so I can get back quickly to you. I don't remember where we were.
Be off helping me!
Boop.
You're not helping me. I'm dying. Thanks.
I found some friends with shiny butts. Okay, now they're dead.
I was just fighting regular spiders in the cave. I thought that's what we were doing.
Well, yeah. I just found some different ones with shiny butts.
Oh, great. So where the hell am I? How do I go back to where I'm supposed to be?
My portal's down.
Right. I don't know where the waypoint is. I don't know where I am. Period.
Where are you?
I don't know.
Click on... no?
I've never been here before.
Oh dear. This seems like a problem. Just drop your portal.
I can't.
You can't?
Well, I'm trying to use this. I must have missed something because I don't recognize anything that's happening right now.
Alright.
Oh. And everything is over. Why did I even bother?
No, there's still a bunch up there. This was just the blob where we died.
But where is my body?
Back the other way.
I don't know. Yeah, you died back there, I think. That was where I died.
So did you guys just waltz past the spiders that I was fighting so you could fight different spiders? What is going on here? I was following
Fern. I don't know what the heck you're doing.
I guess
I was in the cave fighting spiders. I thought we were doing this methodically, but apparently you guys are just running ahead to do whatever you please.
I am following the dog. Like, the dogs are about the best visual indicator I got for what the heck's going on, so I'm following the dogs.
You're one of those...
I miss the spiders.
Are you being one of those people who thinks that because dog is God spelt backwards, that means something?
What?
The addition of a dog to a video game immediately improves it.
Man, I didn't even get my body back. It's like not even here. Where is it?
It's over here.
Where did I die? Oh, here we go.
Over there.
It's just the same color as the floor.
Yes.
I reclaimed 68 experience. Hurrah.
Yes. That's how much I got back. Heavy short sword of the siren.
Might just nab those. I actually have armbands now. Yay! They aren't really good for me.
That sword requires level 10.
Enjoy.
Let me see. Games that actually launched in May. We had the Donkey Kong and the Tropical Freeze, which I've got to play eventually. Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire. Quite good, quite good. The Persona Dancey games. Did anyone actually play those, really?
Nope. Don't care. No story.
No.
No. Not a real SMT game without story. Sorry, cannot play.
Well, realistically, it's not. It's just not an interesting enough concept without a story to back it up. Like, there's not a game there. There's just a toy.
Yeah.
If I want to play a rhythm game, I will spend a humongous amount of money to play Project Diva games because I like those songs.
And they all cost an enormous amount of money.
The songs in the Persona series, while they are good by video game music standards, they're still just background music to me. I don't love them.
More to the point, did the ground just start shooting light right in my camera?
Maybe.
Okay. Couldn't see. Okay, but yeah, the Sona Dancing games, like, whatever. The songs may exist and be fine most of the time, and some of them are pretty good, but they just aren't built for a rhythm game either.
No,
they because they're RPG background music. That's what they were for.
Like, I'm sure you'll never see it coming. May be the most memorable thing of all time, but do you really, really, really want to play that in a rhythm game?
No.
Let's think about this.
Definitely not. All right.
That is called a bad idea.
We move on to June, and June had the E3 in it.
I think I lost Fern and everybody.
I just wandered outside.
I'm in Sparta.
Okay.
Because I can't possibly ever be in the right place. It's against the law.
I was stuck in the middle of the cave.
Oh boy. So let's see. June, yeah, you had the E3. E3 was just cringe all the way through.
Yeah. No. It's Nereid.
Yeah.
Hey, honey.
Let's see. June, you had BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle that came out.
That was a fun month of playtime it got out of me.
Yeah.
Is the story any good? I never asked.
It's pretty silly.
Oh,
because I know it's going to be silly, but like, will you have a good time if you just sit down and play through this?
You'll get more if you know at least the Sona characters and the BlazBlue characters, at least who they are and what their characters are. You'll be able to understand it pretty well, and the character moments make it worth it. Then, if you don't know,
I don't have to play through all the stories in Unib.
No, but the stories cross over so much that you'll want to, because the whole story is built on character moments. It's not even really what I would call a coherent story. The story is Rachel done goofed again.
Yeah, it's Rachel's fault again.
Yeah.
No, nothing is ever Rachel's fault. I thought you would have picked this up by now.
I'm sure she tries to tell you that.
She's just an observer. She never intervenes in anything.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no.
No.
The story of the game is she done goofed again, but it's passable enough. It's not a great story by any means. The Ruby story is kind of ham-fisted in there, and even the FGC people are like, "Why is Ruby even here?"
Well, to be fair, yeah,
really bad.
The Ruby story being bad is pretty part of the course for Ruby.
Like I think honestly the best thing about the Ruby, other than the choreography while Monty was still alive, is the character design, because the character designs are decent.
Yeah, they
are archetypical, but they are decent. But there is no good story there. There just isn't. Period. Like I haven't watched any of the new Ruby stuff, but I slogged my way through everything up to the most recent season, and it just gets worse as it goes along.
Grief, why?
Like I can't help but wonder if like Monty knew what was happening, but nobody else did. Because the story just sharply turned away from development to complete chaos. And it's so obvious that nobody involved in the project can write a story worth it.
Yeah.
Carrie's a bad author at the end of the day. That's what this boils down to. He's the dude that's responsible for everything that happened to Ruby after Monty passed. And he's bad.
Blah.
Back when I still knew people that worked at Rooster Teeth, everybody hated him. He was a stuck-up douche canoe that didn't know how to do his job and thought he was the best person ever.
Oh, wow. One of them.
Yep.
Oh, dear. What else did we get? There was a 40k game that came out, 40k Inquisitor Martyr. No.
Was that any good? Do you know?
Nope. Problem with 40k games is most of them aren't very good at all.
The recent one that came out, people are saying is really good if you're into the type of game.
That would be Inquisitor then.
Is it? I don't know that it is.
I think that's
there are a lot of 40. There've been like 3 40k games have come out in the last 6 months.
Yeah, you get a lot of them, and most of them are just meh. I'm still salty about Dawn of War, by the way. I will forever be salty about Dawn of War.
Other stuff. Is this one like not level 3?
No, it's level 3.
Yeah, I'm still getting level 3 stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was one of the complaints that the original reviewers had for this game when it came out, was that so much of the material that you see drop is just complete garbage, and it never changes. Like, it doesn't move with your level. You just expand the cap. You don't actually stop seeing garbage.
Yeah, like I've got one of those. I got a short sword that we found.
Actually, I've got a bunch of stuff in my stash. I'll see if any of it is for use by a strength.
Yeah, I've got a good sword and shield, so I don't need to replace those. I'll be able to use the sword next level. But yeah,
where are we anyway?
Sparta.
Okay. I'll just quickly check in my stash if I can find the waypoint in Sparta.
Here, I'll just drop my portal on the ground. You can take that.
Yeah, this village doesn't actually have a proper waypoint in it.
Right.
Because reasons.
Yeah.
All right.
Because I occasionally stick crap in my stash against the day that I ever play a physical character, but I'm no interest in doing that.
Yeah. All right.
Let's see. Shields, swords.
Oh yes, The Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit. It looked like pretentious garbage. It was pretentious garbage. That's all I can really say about that game. A good game that actually came out in June is the Insane Trilogy, Crash Bandicoot.
Hold on, was that the remake?
That was the remake.
Was it a remake or a remaster?
Remake.
Yes.
Even though the level design is exactly the same, the physics for movement are switched to Crash 3 for all games. So it
actually makes sense.
Yeah, it's good and bad. There's a couple levels where it just doesn't work, but for the most part it does. It's pretty good. So
heck, how you got?
I'm right in front of you.
And
I'll just drop the stuff and see if it's any good for you.
Here, you can have the
junk out of my stash.
Here, you can have the blue shield. I don't need it.
Watch a treasure exchange going on here.
Yeah, the only other... I've left anything that didn't have a prefix that sounded vaguely... The chest piece is an upgrade. That didn't sound vaguely Warrior E on the ground for you guys.
Right.
Those greaves are actually really good for me, but I need even more strength, and I've been dumping every level into strength to use them.
I'm sorry for giving you powerful free items.
It's insane. It's just so crazy. It's like it takes 133 strength to use it.
Well, you better get to the gym and start lifting.
It's just crazy. The helmet's really good, actually. That's way better than mine, too. We can use that one.
All right.
Different if you still need a hat. There's a hat.
Ooh, a hat.
Yeah, I don't know if it's on it. It's probably garbage.
Defensive ability. Yeah, actually, my current one's better. You can
right, now that I've coated you in Insect Chitin, I'm just going to stand behind you and let you do all the work.
Okay, cool.
Stuff that came out in July. Sonic Mania Plus. Other than that, nothing.
Yeah.
That was easy.
Wait, a Sonic game?
It was a DLC for the Sonic game, the expansion pack for Sonic Mania.
Like, I really feel bad about Sonic in sort of a vague sense that, like, it used to be... A Sonic game coming out used to be like a Mario game coming out, and it's just totally not anymore.
Yeah. It's closer to an Assassin's Creed game coming out now.
It's worse than that.
Oh, maybe I'm just being overly pessimistic.
The assumption when an Assassin's Creed game comes out is that an Assassin's Creed game just came out. Mm-hmm. The assumption when a Sonic game comes out is that a bad game.
Yeah.
Until it proves otherwise. Which is a lot worse.
Sonic really just starts at the bottom of the hill these days and has to grind his way up. Unfortunately, for every Sonic Mania you get, you also get Sonic Forces. Actually, you tend to get 2 Sonic Forces for every Mania.
Oh, Fern, you wanted me to go get
and
that
sometimes they're a werehog.
Then there's the werehog.
Sometimes there are werehogs.
Sometimes there's bestiality.
I'd forget about Unleashed entirely if the 3D Sonic running bits weren't good, but they are. That's a good bit of game in there, but it's just buried in werehog, which is
really
awful.
I just find the word werehog is sort of weirdly emblematic of everything that Sonic has become.
Yeah. There's also that game he ended up running around with a sword because raisins.
He's Sonic the Hedgehog. He's not supposed to need a sword.
Uh-huh.
His superpower is going fast.
Go fast.
And he beats people up by going fast. Like, what is hard to understand about this? Did they ever give the Flash a sword?
I think he actually did have a weapon at some point, but it was not what you're thinking.
Right.
Oh, Fern, here. While Ball was digging out his stash, this is the only thing I've taken that wasn't a strength thing. And I was just hanging on to it.
I still can't use it yet, though. I need a little bit more dexterity. I'll be able to use it next level.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't expect the stat requirements of things to be that big.
Oh, yeah, the itemization
I don't know why
is
you
completely bonkers.
I've got 193 intelligence. What are you doing with your point?
I put a few into HP. I guess they expect you by the level it's required to put all the points into that thing.
We got more zombies up here.
Okay. But yeah, that's crazy.
All right, other games. Moving on, because otherwise we're going to get through this and then we're going to wrap it up, I think.
Yep, so speed it along there.
Stuff that came up in August. Yakuza 0. Want to play it? Haven't had a chance yet.
Got it in the bargain bin.
Yep.
For $5.
You had the PC port of Monster Hunter World. So, the PC players, unfortunately, were months behind the console. Still catching up. I believe they've got Call of Terror now, though.
No.
Yeah, Call of Terror? No, whatever.
I think they got the raid. I'm not sure.
Yeah. We Happy Few also launched in that game, in that window, to massive disappointment.
Yeah, what was the deal with that? Like, everybody was anticipating it, and then when it came out, it was just silent.
Yeah.
Woof woof.
Because the whole thing just fell flat. The problem is there's a lot of really major set pieces on the in the game, but everything between that is procedurally generated.
Right. So there's no coherence to it, basically.
Pretty much, yeah. The gameplay as a result is kind of all over the place. The maps make really no sense. They would have been better off just ditching that entirely.
Sometimes I think that procedural generation is something that programming nerds think is really cool because of the concept, as opposed to the reality, which is that it's really not cool at all.
Yeah.
Like, for a normal person, procedural generation is just crap. It means the content will be bad.
Yeah, you can tell when a world is procedurally generated because it just does not fit together properly.
Yeah. Like, there are some situations in which it works well. Like, I think that it works really well in Diablo 2, for instance.
Yes.
But I think that you need to be very careful how and where you deploy it.
Yes.
Because it's not a win by default, the way some people seem to think.
Yeah. I think they would have been better off just scripting the whole game. So you lose this kind of shoehorned procedural generation, the shoehorned and pointless survival aspect. Get rid of that. And then you would have had a much more solid game. There was also the whole debacle because, Australia decided to do nanny state and ban the game initially. That was fun. I might go back and actually finish not No Man's Sky, sorry. We Happy Few at some point when there's nothing else to play. But I'm not really feeling it. Like, I like the themes, I like the concept of the story and the aesthetic, but there's a whole lot of just faff.
But Australia doesn't have a sense of irony, so they just protect you from reality.
They completely lack irony. Oh, we got a named guy, do we?
Yeah, he's got a star over his head, and he keeps
Le Monde Vengeful.
I'm chugging health pots, doing the stuns and the spinny as much as I can.
Where my doggo's gone?
Unfortunately, I am a slave to my cooldowns.
He died. We got him. He fell over eventually.
All I can do is just stand back and go pew pew pew. And summon a new doggo every now and again. We had Warcraft Battle for Azeroth, which has gone on to become possibly the most hated expansion to date.
Yeah, I think that people will probably continue to say that the worst expansion was Cataclysm, but I think in reality they'll know deep down that the worst Azeroth is attached hating on Cataclysm.
Yeah, Cataclysm had some really dumb decisions, admittedly.
I think Cataclysm was a very mixed bag in a lot of ways. I think that it had extremely high highs and extremely low lows.
Yeah. Whereas Battle for Azeroth, aside from a couple of very small points here and there, it's all lows all the time.
It's just there's just nothing to commend it, other than like by World of Warcraft standards, it has very nice art in zone. But other than that, it's complete garbage.
Yeah. I have a. Finally got my auto attack replacer, which I can't assign because I've got to run this in windowed mode and I can't actually get to the button. That's inconvenient.
You can't flip it to full screen and then flip it back to windowed mode real quick?
I think I'm going to have to do that.
Going to cause the client to explode, isn't it?
Quite.
How did you get like? Let's see. You're like 7,000 experience ahead of me, Fern.
Am I?
At least.
Okay.
Yeah. It's because he's running ahead and his wolf is getting all the killing blows. So usually in ARPGs, old school ARPGs, there's a bonus for striking the killing blow in multiplayer games.
I see.
But his wolves generate so many attacks that it's basically impossible for us to compete.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got like 7,000 experience to next level.
Fair enough.
I'm not even tracking because I'm not really doing anything useful.
Let's see. Other good games in August. Guacamelee 2. It's Guacamelee, but more of it. Go play it. It's really good.
The Mixiverse. I'm finding the idea of the Mixiverse more and more amusing.
Yeah.
And it's probably because of FGO's love affair with Lucha, which has emerged all of a sudden for some reason.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's
all
Quetz's fault.
Quetz is just totally Lucha. Guacamelee 2 does have a few faults. Admittedly. It does, every now and again, it brings up the memes. Don't ever bring up the memes.
I don't understand why people do that. Like, all that means is you're going to date yourself. You're going to make the game make no sense later on. That's all.
Yep.
You're not winning doing that. You're not... Nobody has ever liked a game more because it, pandered to the meme.
Yeah. Like
it's just not a thing.
Having popular characters on Lucha wrestling posters in Lucha attire, that's great. That's fine. Do that. Because that's actually quite good. But when you're just recycling memes and doing them up in that kind of Spanish art style, yeah, no, don't do that. That's yourself.
Yeah, if it's characters like, even if nobody knows that character, the gag will still stand up because it will make sense as an in-universe quirk.
Yes.
It's all that other crap it's just not relevant to anybody.
Nobody cares about things like Insanity Wolf anymore.
Like, that's the thing. You want to make, if you want your game to be memorable, your game needs to remain relevant. And if you put memes in, all you are doing is guaranteeing that one day before too long, your game will completely cease to have any relevance.
Yep. Could one of you drop your portals, please? I did.
Yep. We got them. Just click either one of them.
Thank you. Let me see. We had the re-releases of the Shenmue games. I don't think it. Did that Kickstarter ever actually amount to anything?
I have not heard any progress on the Kickstarter since it was announced in the thing.
I feel like in a market sense, Shenmue has been replaced by Yakuza.
Yep.
and I don't really think there's actually the room in the market for Shenmue that fans believe.
Yeah,
I think that when it does come out, it will be to little fanfare and no care, except for the hardcores.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mean that as a slight on Shenmue in any way. I just think that's the reality we live in.
Yep.
What are we even doing right now in the game?
I don't know. We're still following the Doggomancer. I don't know what the quest objectives are.
Doggomancer is just following the road largely.
I'm pretty sure we're actually just meant to go back to Sparta at this point, but
I think you just keep on going, and that. Yeah, if I recall, this stretch is probably the longest stretch of just nothing.
Right. Well, let's move on.
Yeah.
So what's next?
I have a time limit tonight, so
yeah. So we're nearly to the finish here, I think. What else launched in August? Night Trap 25th edition. One of these days, I think, once I get a capture card, I'm going to have to hook up my Switch and play that game.
What? Of all the things?
Because it is awful.
Like, I feel like whoever managed to suggest that and get it approved was just giggled to himself while he was doing so. Like, man, this is the biggest pile of crap to ever crap, and I've managed to get it put through on a current gen system.
Just troll all the way.
Like, that game itself became a meme decades after it came out.
Yeah. When it came out, it sent all the Moral Guardians into an absolute conniption, which I suppose was hilarious in its own right.
Yeah, I suppose that the people who went to all this effort to get it to come out now think that they're being, I don't know, iconoclastic or something. But no, you're just being,
annoying.
Memester at best.
Yes.
Iconoclast had a robot trucker as a parrot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that final boss of that game made absolutely no sense.
Why was it a parrot?
I don't know what you're talking about, but all right.
you said iconoclastic, and I'm like, oh, that was also a video game.
Iconoclast was also a game.
It's also an actual word. Just
I know.
It is.
It's just anytime that game is referenced as all, I can only think of the trucker parrot and the robot.
Yeah. That comes out of absolutely nowhere.
The game's major twist is trucker parrot and a robot.
Yep.
It's as a word, it's kind of got an interesting heritage of, like, if you are a Catholic, it's a strictly negative term, and if you are a secular, it's a strictly positive term. So it's sort of very difficult to communicate with it. So I probably ought not use it.
Yeah.
But
when it fits, it
fits. It's just I don't think that I don't bring garbage because funny is really that useful.
Ooh,
I don't think it's going to last.
There's that lag. All right. What else came out in September? Move on to September. Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition.
Why? I wish they would stop trying to turn every entry into a franchise. Like, I was happy when, if Final Fantasy 7 comes out, then that's great because it's freed them up to make Final Fantasy 8.
Yep. But now
Final Fantasy 15 coming out, freeing them to make the mobile version does not make me happy.
Well, this is it
makes me annoyed.
The Switch version.
The Switch is a mobile device.
It is a mobile device, despite what the people want to say.
I'm not interested in this constant, we need to squeeze every drop of money out. If you can't do the ports all at once, just stop mucking about.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's pretty bad for Final Fantasy as well. Like, Final Fantasy, I think they should just tell the story, one and done, finished.
Yeah, the thing is that I feel like there's a lack of faith that they can write a good story in a way. Like, everybody wants the DLC safety net now. Mm-hmm. They aren't willing to put their work out there and embrace themselves for the criticism. They want to always be able to say, the story continues to develop from here. This is not everything there is to it. Yeah,
so in other words, you've got an 80-hour game and 90% of it is filler.
creative cowardice. Really, I'm not. I can't really. It's hard to criticize because I'm incapable of creation. But it seems like they should, nut up and create their magnum opus, and then let the people decide whether it's good or not. Not just constantly try and stretch and stretch and stretch. Like they're still doing previews for the next Final Fantasy 15 DLC, their episode of Douchebag or whatever.
Yes, which douchebag? There's lots of them in that game.
Virtually every character in that game is a douchebag. But yeah, it's. I wish that they would place some sort of creative priority on a complete story.
Yeah, like it's one of the reasons I like 10 so much. It's a complete story, it doesn't outstay its welcome, and it stays on track most of the time. No other Final Fantasy has really done that. Much as I like 9, it does tend to ramble.
Yeah, 6. The only problem I have with my favorite Final Fantasy is it sits there and it goes, "Oh, we gotta tell another story. Oh, another story. Oh, you want another story to jam in here?" And tells a bunch of stories at once. So
yeah,
if you're not playing it in one sitting, it can get a little out there.
Yeah, you can.
I don't have enough
track
energy.
Very quickly.
I'm actually using my energy now.
Wow. Okay. Other games.
On the plus side,
September games. Keeping on moving. Spider-Man's. Good game. Go play it.
We talked about that one enough. We can pretty much skip it.
Yep. There was a Black Clover game.
What just happened? Why is everything in the world after me?
I don't know. What did you do?
Can one of y'all drop a portal?
You made everything the angry. I am dying. I should stop dying. Oh, this is bad.
I'm coming. Ah! I clicked my whirlwind ability and it teleported me to you because the skeleton lagged and caught up.
Nice. Hey, we're not dead. Well, Ari was dead.
Oh, I died. I died a lot slower, though, thanks to those pants, or not pants Fall gave me. It took 133 straight to equip.
Alright, so a lot of stuff actually came out in September, but nothing is really worth, honestly, talking about. There's a lot of, again, Switch ports. Sigh. October is the start of the sale season. COD Blops 4, meh. Admittedly, though, of all the COD Blopsiest games that came out this year, it's probably the best one because the others shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I really want to hate COD Blops, but everybody else has been like, "Hold my beer. I need to show you why I am even better at being a bad COD game than COD is."
Yes. Whereas COD Blops is, "Hey, this is COD. We're gonna make a COD game now." And that's it. We have also the Mega Man's 11.
Good video game. Talked about it enough.
Yep. Very good game. Oh, right. There was a Goosebumps game that came out on the Switch. Why?
Where is my Escape from Horrorland remake?
Please.
With Jeff Goldblum.
Being a pedophile vampire. Also that tour guide woman who is just having way too much fun.
Yeah, she definitely. Either she is so dead inside that she can act like she's having fun perfectly, or she really did enjoy just completely being a spaz all the time, every week.
She was practically foaming at the mouth for that performance. It was glorious. Let me see other stuff that came out in October. Soul Calibur 6. Need to get to that.
Demo was good when it would actually load and connect.
Yeah, you had to go at that with sleep, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, tried. But we couldn't get connected to each other, so I wound up just playing randos.
Bleh.
Oh yeah, I remember you trying all sorts of bizarre settings to try and get to connect.
Yeah, but me and Ava were trying to connect to each other on the first day, and it just didn't work.
Yeah, I really hope that they got that fixed up for the launch.
Yeah. It was a wonky beta. Apparently it's fine at launch. That issue ain't there.
Yep.
As usual, everybody is very happy to be able to look up 2B's skirt. So
because of course they are. To be fair, the camera in Nier Automata got extremely friendly with 2B's skirt at some points.
She's a robot.
And
she's a cute robot.
She's also Japanese, apparently.
Do not loot the robot.
We made it to the city.
We did.
We did.
I'm just skimming through here to see what other games are actually worth noting. Just Dance 2019 came out.
Just Dance is not, and it will never be cool.
No, it will never.
And in fact,
I
think every E3 it loses a few more cool points.
They do manage to somehow top themselves in just pure cringe every year.
Did it have any cool points to begin with?
No, it didn't.
Negative numbers are a thing, people.
Let me see. I think that's everything worth real talking about, except for Red Dead Redemption 2, which we've already talked about quite a lot. Great game, paced horribly. And finally, November. The beginning of the Hold My Beer-a-thon.
Is that any good for you, Ari?
Is what any good?
That shield that I just dropped.
Maybe.
I don't know how good your shield.
We've been getting shields all day. It's better than mine, but I'll have to hold on to it for a few levels.
Again?
We've been getting Little L's butt shields.
Man, I keep giving you this stuff and you just don't seem grateful. You just hang on to it.
Hey, I put on those boots. The boots worked. The boots actually saved my life. Twice. With the move speed, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, dear. Alright. Games in November worth talking about. Oh, dear. This is where things get depressing, isn't it?
Maybe.
Fallout 76.
Oh, right.
Yeah, enough said. Battlefield 5. Enough said.
Hold My Beer-a-thon.
Darksiders 3 came out. That's actually supposedly quite a good game.
I've heard very mixed things about it.
Yeah.
From what I saw, it looked very meh.
Yeah. Darksiders never really stayed with one thing, did they?
I don't know. I think that it's too little too late. That was supposed to all come out together while there was still strong interest in the franchise.
Yeah.
And they went through too many little internal difficulties, so...
Yep.
Yeah. Mess at this.
Yeah, and their story is just...
We have found a new waypoint. I think this is a good stopping point in time.
This is a good stopping point, by the way.
Ari, where are you and where is that waypoint?
It's up here. Up near the north. Up here.
Yep.
I have an item for you.
Oh.
I'm going to stay down the market square where it presumably smells like fish. Alright, so that's pretty much it for the year. There's a whole lot of games that came out, a whole lot of shovelware, and a whole lot of NS ports. Or Switch ports.
That is way better than mine, but I gotta hang on to it for 8 levels.
Get to the gym, sir.
This isn't a strength thing. The last 2 were level requirements I gotta wait on. I have the stats to use them.
Oh, boy.
No, the only one that had the ridiculous strength requirement was the boots. And I met it pretty quick on the next level up, so I got those on.
Yeah, said it before, the optimization in this game is all over the place. Alright, so that's us for this year, I guess.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
We did a thing.
We have done
every week
a thing.
Another year.
That's 7.
Another year of inflicting ourselves on all you idiots who still listen.
Why do you listen?
Somehow. Oh, dearie me. But yep.
Alright. We should start...
We might put up some streams during the break, depending on how busy we are.
Yeah, see what happens. See what we end up doing.
We might actually finish Greece.
Maybe. Alright, so, I guess that's it for us this year. Should we just go straight to closing comments?
Righto.
Yep. How did I just lose 3 strength? Why are my boots no longer equipable? Where did my 3 strength go?
So I don't know.
These 2 are terrible at multitasking.
Yes. So closing comments go.
Yeah, that is my closing comment.
Me Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Yep.
Indeed.
We will see y'all after Christmas, we guess.
Yep, we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yep. We will see you then. Until then, sayonara, bye-bye.